Welcome to Season 3 of the Knack for Business podcast. Over 250 episodes strong, we're here to ignite your entrepreneurial spirit with fresh insights, networking gems, and creative strategies that elevate your game. Are you ready to discover what your Knack for Business truly is? Your hosts are Bernie Franz-Grote from Creative Insight and Wayne Pratt from Motivate You, Inc.
Today's topic is online sales rocket with secret new shoppable videos. If you, from the audience perspective, if you're struggling to turn your video views into real sales, this is the right show to listen to. Our guest today is Aitan Cotter from Vimy. Aitan is the co-founder and co-CEO of Vimy, who helps brands and retailers boost sales with shoppable video and live shopping. As a leader in video commerce, Aitan brings over 20 years of experience in startups and public companies, even taking one through the NASDAQ IPO. He is a go-to expert in digital marketing, social commerce, and building startups from the ground up. Aitan regularly speaks about the future of immersive digital experiences and how media and commerce are coming together to help shape the way we shop online. If you're ready to turn engagement into revenue, Aitan has the insights you need. Aitan, welcome, sir.
Hey, welcome. Great to be here, Bernie and Wayne. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Do you have a favorite quote, sir?
Of course, the only way you can fail is by giving up, right? That's my belief, and it was always my belief.
And does your business have a tagline?
The tagline is transform video views into direct sales.
Makes great sense. So, what is a shoppable video, and how does that work for an online business? Is it interactive? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, you choose all the right keywords, right? Shoppable, interactive, all of these are great to use because videos is a very important part of any marketing initiatives these days, right? So videos is being created by influencers or professional content creators or by the brands themselves. And there is a specific version of the video, which we call shoppable video, which is an interactive experience that give the users or the potential shoppers the ability to check out from within the video experience itself. Think about you watch YouTube or you're scrolling through TikTok or you're in one of the brand's website and you see a video and that video has a call to action. It can be a button that says, hey, click now to buy, or there is a link to redirect you to a checkout page. But the idea is to click on that button on top of the video player itself to create that checkout experience to make sure people are purchasing the product from within the video experience. So that's the idea of shoppable video. It's a new, I would say, trend that started in China about 4 years ago. Chinese were very innovative in the way to use video. It started as a live shopping type of event. Think about a seller showcasing variety of products in front of a camera. It can be even an iPhone, right? That video is online in real time, distributed to multiple channels or to one of the channels. It can be social channels or the brand's website. And it gives the ability for shoppers to purchase these products exactly at the same time. So the seller will encourage users to purchase through discounts, gamification, variety of things, and enable the checkout of the product in real time. It can be a live event, but it can also be a pre-recorded or pre-edited video, what we call shoppable video, which is mainly those vertical videos that you see now on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube. But it can also be longer form videos that primarily goes to YouTube, right? But the idea is to integrate all these interactive layer of call to actions and checkout. In the live scenario, we are integrating chat systems. Potential buyers can ask questions during the event and the moderators can respond and push those potential shoppers to make a purchase.
I'm guessing that this makes not only outrageous sense, but it's more shocking that it hasn't happened. What are the minefields? What's keeping it from interacting?
Great question, Wayne. The main objections that we hear from customers is that video is complicated to create, right? If you're creating content, it can be text-based content through a blog, for example, or a LinkedIn or an Instagram post. It can be podcasting like we do right now with audio. Video is more on the pre-production side or the preparation, seems to be more complicated. It is when it is like this high value, highly polished, high production type of videos, but most videos don't have to be that heavily produced. What's working today is these short form, really authentic videos that you just don't prepare too much, just have an idea in your mind, try to come up with the right structure for that video. Usually you start strong with a hook, right? You create some kind of a connection through a personal story. You show, right? You ask for an action, ask for a checkout, or ask for something that the user will be able to do. No one cares about the background. You have to have a nice audio, right? The scripting and the storytelling is interesting, but the production value doesn't have to be that high. TikTok helped a lot with this transition. We call it the TikTokification effect, right? Moving to authenticity, more quantity, low production value, but high storytelling and high interest, and the ability to showcase products in a variety of ways across multiple channels.
You mentioned structuring it, and if you're a business starting up, it helps if you're slightly extrovert. You have to be a little gregarious and want to talk, not freeze as you look at the camera going, I don't know what to say. But other than the basics, like a little bit of showmanship, what are the things, how does a business bring this into it? Do you record things in raw footage and then you parse it down? How do you funnel it so that you end up having a product you can push out for content later on?
Yes. So usually when you're a company and you want to create videos, you think I need to go to a production company, an agency, or find influencers to create that content. Usually it's a complicated process. What's working today a lot is what we call EGC, which is employee generated content or founder led content. These are the most authentic, differentiated, powerful videos that are differentiating you as a brand. You tell the origin of why you founded this company, why you are so engaged and passionate about the company. And this resonates and creates a major effect with users. The idea is that to try to identify where is the company in the marketing funnel. If we just split it to the main three sections, let's say awareness, consideration, and decision, right? So if you're just a new brand or just launching a new product, you're still in the awareness stage, right? The idea here is to don't push your product, provide educational content, market information, provide variety of information that just build you as a thought leader, as someone who is trustworthy and bringing a lot of value. And if you're moving on into the consideration stage, provide all these comparisons, you versus others. Don't be afraid to talk about your competition. Your customers are looking for your competitors anyhow. So you can save a lot of time by talking about competitors. Provide information like case studies or how to without pushing the project when your customers are in the decision stage. This is where you need to talk about the unique functionalities of your product, provide the prices, testimonials, and successful case studies. You need this type of content at that stage. Create a list of content ideas in each of those stages in the marketing funnel. This will give you a lot of ideas about how to create content around that. And when I create content, 30 seconds content initially, not more. This is what we mean by content, like bite-sized information. Do that every day. If you stick to this for 2 to 3 months, you are in a very good position versus the competition, because all the social networks are promoting video through the algorithm. They are favoring videos because videos keep you for a longer time in their platform, right? So keep creating videos. They need to be authentic. Don't spend too much time, not more. If it's a 30 seconds to 60-second video, probably you need to spend 15 to 30 minutes on that video. Just take your iPhone, capture the video, use some AI tools out there to do the editing. It's very, very easy to do these days with all the AI tools out there that can help you with content ideas, with the scripting, the post-production, the editing, right? It's very easy to do. You can get external help with this. But this is the most powerful marketing weapon that any company can have today through these short-form videos, and consistency and authenticity just wins any marketing channels out there.
Yeah. One thing I'm guessing, I could be wrong, a company will get excited about this and try it. And when they don't get on Fortune magazine next week, they quit depressed. How much time and what metrics do you follow to not be delusional, not be discouraged, but to actually build an incremental plan?
Another great question. The way these things are working, this is not a linear growth. It's not an accumulation of the numbers of video that you do. If I started just now, in 1 month, I have maybe 30 videos. It doesn't work that way. The way it works is consistency means that more people will watch your videos. Not all your videos will be great and interesting, but you need just one, right, to create this hockey stick effect. Then suddenly you had 300 views, and one video you have 30,000 views, right? And then you move to a different level in terms of how the algorithm, the net, and the networks considers you. And you continue to post. Not all the videos will perform great. And suddenly, after a few weeks, another video will make a huge difference, right? With tens of thousands of views or even hundreds of thousands of views. And this is the way to grow. There's nothing that even come close to this effect. It's all organic. I don't talk about paid media or advertising budgets. It's all organic. By the way, those videos that are performing very well, we usually recommend our customers to push them with advertising budgets because we know the return on that spend is going to be very good. So in our platform, we give a lot of data about what's working and what's not, times of the day, the length, the scripting, some feedback on the scripting. So there is a ability to improve. And once you figure out what's working most, you can adapt your style and continue on that process. Now, that's a very powerful way on trying to get this data, which is so important to figure out what's working and what's not. So I usually tell those people who are going in front of camera, don't discourage, just keep going, right? This is why consistency is so important. You don't know why one of the videos is going to explode, but I guarantee you they will. It doesn't matter your style, or if you've never been in front of the camera, the content value is the most important thing. It doesn't matter the look or your age, right? The content quality, the consistency, and just showing up. And this is very important in this process.
It's interesting because you've touched on a couple of things. Consistency, you get that piece, and you never know what's going to make something go viral. If you have a video, is this where Vimeo kicks in then? They look at something going, hey, and all of a sudden the hockey stick moment happens. You're just going, holy smokes, that was hot. Do you look for the recipe in that then? Do you look for what were the tells for that so you can replicate it? Is that one of the elements that Vimeo provides?
Exactly. The data and the analysis of what's working and what's not in your videos is a very important part of the platform. And it gives a lot of help to expedite this onboarding process. As I said, it usually takes 2 to 3 months. You can have a completely different company after these 3 months. I see results, companies that are just increasing their overall sales by 30%, 40%. It doesn't mean that people actually click to purchase because not all these videos are shoppable. A lot of these videos are for building awareness and building your community. You can see an overall increase because people trust the brand. The sentiment of the brand is much higher because they know the people behind the scenes. And if you have few people from the same company just posting, this has a snowball effect, creating a huge impact in the market.
So are you actually measuring how the video surfaced on someone's device, mobile, top? Is it a matter of it's surfaced, they got played, or it surfaced and got played partially or got played fully? What are the metrics you tie in that you're tracking to provide that feedback loop?
Exactly. All of the above and a lot of others. We know video is powerful for insights, for analytics, much more than text-based or anything else, because we know so much. We know how much time you watched, when you stopped, why you stopped, the quality of the video. We know geographical location where you watched that video. There is so much data that is aggregated to a data lake and then followed with AI models that are trying to come up with some insights and recommendation primarily about how to improve video KPIs, right? In terms of the way you script the video, when you publish those videos, are you better on live, short form or long form? What's working best? We check engagement parameters like likes, views, or shares. We have a lot of like deeper analysis of what's really happening behind the scene in terms of how are you engaged when you watch that video. So we try to combine variety of sources into the AI models and recommend, as I said, on the video KPIs, but also on the product KPIs, right? So business side of things, like recommending products to showcase in different times of the day, maybe how to structure your overall content planning based on these different stages of the marketing funnel. It's a system that learns a lot through the video and give you a lot of recommendation to improve business parameters and overall video parameters.
Social media. Does this skew toward Facebook? Is this out there on LinkedIn? What social media tends to provide the best for your business?
Again, it depends on the target customers of we are a B2B customers. We are B2B companies. Our customers are usually brands. They are divided into direct to consumer brands and B2B. If you're direct to consumer, you need to decide your ideal customer profile, for example, age. If it's like Gen Zs, for example, so probably you need to be on TikTok, right? If you are millennials, probably TikTok, Instagram. But if you're like Gen X, right, so probably Facebook. YouTube is like all over the place, right? So first and foremost, you need to decide who are your customers and where you need to focus, because each one of these platforms are providing different demographics. And TikTok style videos, because it's Gen X, you need to craft those videos in a certain way versus Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, where different generation are watching and are expecting different things. Okay. I'm creating a lot of videos. We're a B2B company, so I'm really active on LinkedIn. That's my primary channel. We repurpose the content all over, but I know that the primary channel that I need to focus is on LinkedIn. So each one of those companies has a one main area of focus usually, and all the rest are like secondary priority, because TikTok, for example, or Instagram, they represent a certain type of audience and a community that you need to focus, deep dive, and communicate with them and build direct engagement also with these people. And it's surrounding around for example, the TikTok ecosystem, right? So it's any one of these communities are becoming really fragmented, differentiated. It's becoming very specialized, and you need different level of expertise to manage each one of those channels. It's like a different sphere or community, right? So you can't win all the markets, definitely for a small, mid-sized brand. You need to make sure you pick your battles and try to win whatever you can. And because of the difficulties in customer acquisition these days, the idea is to work on social media and do conversion for sales on social media as well. This is what drives this entire ecosystem.
It's interesting. Everybody has a cell phone. Not everybody does, but 90% of the population, even in remote parts of the planet, you'll see some people with cell phones because they don't have landlines. That technology is out there. Do you see that? Is there another layer of technology that supersizes this connectivity? When you say the call to action button inside the video, is that like virtual reality, AR, artificial reality? Do you see that kind of? I think the answer is yes. But do you actually see that flowing in? Is that something your company helps bring into the next level?
Yes, of course. Our focus is towards immersive commerce. Immersive is, as you mentioned, AR, VR. These are great experiences. It doesn't fit all the niches in the industry. Some of the niches are more relevant, like probably fashion, cosmetics. The idea is to find ways to enrich the experience of e-commerce, because we know it's been this product page with pictures and checkout, it looks the same for 20 years. Companies are looking for ways to change the experience completely, because it puts them in a different, let's say, ecosystem, or differentiating them from competition. We see an amazing use cases for virtual reality, augmented reality, but it's still really in a small scale. People are so busy managing their shop and their Amazon and now TikTok shop, right? So it's a very complex ecosystem. I can tell you that, for example, in Asia, if you are an Asian brand or an Asian company, you just open a TikTok shop. You don't build your own Shopify website, right? Because, okay, you have an amazing website, an e-commerce platform. Now what? Who knows about it, right? You need to put those marketing budget. If you go to TikTok shop, TikTok brings you customers, right? So the first go-to platform in Asia is TikTok. In countries where most countries have TikTok Shop, in TikTok Shop, you can work with affiliate partners, you can work with influencers to create content. TikTok, if your videos are good, they will bring you eyeballs, right? You can click to make a purchase. This is nothing you can do on your own website without extensive marketing budgets, right? But of course, the customers are owned by TikTok, right? In the US, you get fulfillment by TikTok, like Amazon, right? So the entire fulfillment and warehousing is also provided by TikTok. I think they're changing the game quite extensively, right? In this ecosystem of commerce. Commerce is going social because of a lot of triggers. Video is important on all forms of video, and also being able to provide interactivity, but also all these additional immersive layers of augmented reality, virtual reality, and variety of social shopping is not just the ability for us to purchase on social, but also the ability to join friends and together make a purchase. This is something you can do in a VR environment, for example. You can join an event that many other people are invited, and together you can communicate with one another and make a purchase. And this is some of the use cases that I see that are working very well. And most of the leading brands in the world are doing this, right? Companies like Starbucks or LVMH, they are using this type of technology and community building just to create more immersive and future-proof shopping experiences.
You foresee a time when you're doing artificial reality and virtual reality, it's all visual and sound, so audio and visual. Do you foresee haptics, touch, and or more importantly, smell? Because that's one of those most potent things in to bring a memory about, right? If it's a favorite smell from childhood, could it be buttered popcorn if you like that? You're in a movie theater,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, for sure. But this is all very new, right? And consumer experiences and trying to understand what's working and what's not is a lengthy process. Obviously, there is a lot of innovation around that area, but eventually we are a human being and we have our own way of doing things. I can share another example on CTV on big screens, right? Netflix, also Disney, they've launched advertising packages, right? You don't have to pay a monthly subscription. You can just watch, and they're like pre-roll, mid-roll, and post-roll ads inside the episode, right? Some of those ads have a QR code that if you open your mobile phone, you can scan the QR code and make a purchase, for example. Now, are you happy with this experience? Is it a good experience? Because watching the big screen is a little lean back type of experience, right? Your mind is in reptilian mode, right? You click 2 buttons on the remote control and you want to enjoy and entertain. You're not actively engaging your prefrontal cortex to make purchase decisions, right? So big screen and shopping, is it working? No one knows. It's just the beginning. The technology is there. It's very easy to implement. But in terms of us as humans, are we happy to purchase on a big screen? Still a big question. And some of these immersive experiences are also under experimentation. Definitely immersive VR is very active in training, for example, right? Scenarios. It's very powerful because you don't have to fly out technicians and in terms of engines and like mechanical gear maintenance and all. You can truly use VR training to help a team that is spread globally. In terms of sales activities and online digital checkout, there are many use cases and examples of great technology, but it's still a tiny part of the overall purchase and still under experimentation. In the US, digital e-commerce is less than 20% of the overall retail business. So 80% are still purchasing in brick and mortar stores. It's not expected to change in the next years. Although all the offline online is growing, but the share of online of overall retail business is not growing. This is completely different from China, by the way. In China, 90% is online, right? Like completely different ecosystem. So you can see it's like culture, human nature. There's a lot of psychological processes involved in this type of new technologies and ideas.
You know, one thing that I'm both thrilled and terrified at the exact same time, something you've already mentioned, is because of the metrics and because we can do analytics and because it drives product, is it going to cause the death of what you call layback video? Are we going to stop watching NCIS and be like literally eating pellets on a maze? Is this going to eliminate leisure?
No. Okay. Because what you'll find is that, yes, there is a lot of discussions and hype and growth in this short form, lean forward, engaging type of video. But also there is growth on long form YouTube, right? 1 hour long, 2 hours long. They are growing as well, right? Media and entertainment, TV series, and Netflix is still growing. Right? So people, there is a time of the day to do each one of those things. I think it's important to manage our time correctly and try to find time for each one of those. But they all have a place in our life and are here to stay. Media and entertainment type of video and immersive or shoppable or marketing type of video that is really business oriented, commerce oriented. Yeah, we like to buy. We want to buy from time to time. And if video help us select products or video help us with unboxing and showcasing products, people are today, before they make a purchase decision, TikTok is the new search, right? Because of that video impact, which is very powerful. It just changed completely the way we make purchase decisions.
Find that our cell phones, if you're having an Apple device or an Android device, right, it's always listening, it's trying to be that servant. Sometimes some people think a little bit more than that, but that's okay. Even like I have a little device here, and if I say, hey, answer me this, it'll start doing that. Do you find that if I post a video on LinkedIn, I'm not tied back to any mothership anywhere where it influences it? Is that another element then that's going to be coming in? So you have contextual awareness of what's going on. If I'm watching a video going, I don't feel like I want to sit back and enjoy it. And now I feel like engaging. I'm hyped. Is that something else that you're going to see coming in, that's going to be change the engagement level?
Yes, I think we can find commonality. The data will show and will tell what's recommended, right? As I told you before, like time of the day, for example. If it's 9 p.m., then we know what is the mode that you are operating right now, right? If it's in the middle of the day, probably it's different. So we try to find styles, as you said, like styles of purchase. Are you engaged or are you leaning back right now? And I don't think these videos can be regenerated automatically. Although there are a lot of AI tools out there, I think it's important to discuss AI avatars. I did a duplication of myself in one of the AI tools, and I just paste the text, and I can create 1,000 videos in one day, just pasting the script, the text. And you have another Aitan who is just talking, and I never did this video. And you will know, even today, not in the future, right now, you will not have even 1% chance to identify that this is created by an AI company. A lot of the videos you see right now, if you're scrolling social media, are created by AI avatars, right? And this creates like a surge of content, right? Since the launch of ChatGPT, the amount of content that was created in the world is more than the amount of content that was created like 20 years back. And it's just in a matter of 2 years. Because of these tools, the future is endless. With so many things. First, the AI system needs to understand your psychological states, creating automatic content, AI avatars. Yes, why not? All these things can be, of course, they're available today and will improve in the future. It's frightening on one side, but it's also exciting on the other. Let's see how it goes.
You're not going to let Bernie replace me as an avatar, are you?
Oh, wait, we're too ad-libs to make that happen. I noticed when I used YouTube in the past, I owned a Nissan Versa. No product plug here. But one of the things was how to change a light bulb, right? And I'm looking at it, and I know how to change a light bulb in a car, but it's like, how do I get the thing to flip open? Because I had to do it by touch, right? So I went to the video. I had a problem to solve. Versus I want to know something new, and I don't know if that's a problem or just looking for new information. So there are two type of tracks that are afoot. And I'm sure AI will figure it out. That Wayne's got a problem with X, and how do I solve it? How long do I put the roast in the oven for? I haven't cooked one before. Yeah. How does the oven work? If you're trying to do e-commerce, how do you shape that? So are you addressing two different types of audiences? potentially yes, but how do you shape it so that your messaging is going out and what you're having for content is going to be effective?
Yeah, so we are in the content creation, content, let's say, brands, they need a platform to post that content, but they don't control the algorithms, right? In the TikTok, for example, terms and conditions, they tell very openly that they listen not just to you, they listen and gather information from all the other apps in your phone. Okay. I don't know if you had that experience. Probably I'm searching for something or I talk about something and I open TikTok and suddenly I see videos related to this topic. I'm sure it happens to you as well. Is it good? Is it bad? We need to think about it. I don't mind to get ads that are totally targeted, right, towards things that I'm looking for. But yes, those algorithms are able to identify what you want and they know to where to push these videos from the brand perspective. And what, for example, today with Facebook advertising, people used to spend hours refining the ad campaign, right? Making sure that this checkbox is clicked because it's in a certain geographic or a certain age, and you can spend hours just refining this process workflow within the Facebook ads campaign manager. But now I see and hear also read that a lot of companies are going just to open targeting. They don't spend even 1 second. Just upload the creative and let Facebook take the decision. You have Facebook, it just knows what this ad is all about. Let Facebook figure out where they need to push these ads and don't care about it. Don't spend your energy in trying to decide for Facebook where to push that content. They know it better than you. This is open targeting, which I see is growing very fast, right? In the overall performance media type of things. Yeah, it works very well. It works today and it's very effective and efficient.
A lot of our listeners are startups. How does a startup leverage video?
Yes, in a job description of a founder CEO, startup CEO, you need to have experience, you need to have executive capabilities, know the market. No one told you that you need to know how to create content, post on social, be consistent, be authentic. Was never something that was defined in the job description or you ever added to your CV, right? But this is one of the major items that every founder CEO needs to have, right? Yes, you need to manage R&D, you need to manage marketing, you need to work on your product, listen to customers, raise funds, and create content. If you want to scale, differentiate, and build a community, that's the best way. Advertising is expensive. Most of the venture capital money goes back to Google and Facebook, right? Because of ads. But there are a lot of creative, organic way to do that. You need to put the efforts to learn. Anyone can do it. It's a major part of your job description. Create content, differentiate. It can be text-based, video-based. Video is the best, obviously. Audio-based, like podcasting. You need to show up there because founder-led content is the most effective. ROI is the maximum in terms of the investment. And it doesn't cost anything, probably your time. Anyone can do that. Do it according to the method that we, in this episode. And be consistent because the results are going to be amazing. It's amazing not just for marketing, but also for getting feedback from the market. Getting feedback on the product, right? Getting feedback on the way that the communities are talking about you, word of mouth, building your network, people sharing success stories, friends telling friends. This is so powerful because you are out there, videos are out there, and you are moving fast, being agile in your mind. It's very critical to have that awareness, building, scripting, and launching content and videos, but also having this agile mentality of move fast, break things. Don't wait for everything to be perfect because it will never be perfect. Done is much better than perfect. Launch something small, listen to feedback, and grow from there. This land and expand strategy is much more powerful than everything we see right now that is really working in a very good way.
So what's the future looking like?
Wow, that's such a broad.
Tell me 100 years from now, what are we up to? What do you anticipate in the next, even 5 years might be too far reaching because a lot of things can happen and as technology exponentially grows. Even the next 2, 3 years, what do you see coming on the horizon?
Look, I see $1 billion companies with just one employee, right? A founder, CEO, one person selling hundreds of millions of dollars. That's achievable. I know a few founders who are selling $50 million. Just it's one man show, right? Just one man show, all through AI, right? So you can have chatbots for support, right? You can have data scraping and marketing automation for your marketing activities, right? AI obviously creating content code, right, for software. And yeah, we'll see a lot of this type of scenario. One thing that I see, which is probably not so far away from us, 2 to 4 years maximum. I'm sure that we will see $1 billion valuation of one person company.
Wow.
On the other hand, because it's going to be so easy to create things, we are social creatures, right? So we will have this fatigue. We will just ignore everything that is brought to us and we understand it came from AI or it was too easy to produce. We will look for this authenticity, for this human connection, building real engagement and relationships. I think this is bring us back to our probably roots, right? As social creatures, we know how to build a community. As a single person, we are very weak, but as a community, we are very strong. No one can beat us as a community. No one in the world. So as AI continue to spread and evolve, then face-to-face, one-on-ones, community building, social engagements, relationships are becoming much more important. So I'm quite optimistic. There is no limits to what, of course, with AI, to what AI things to develop or shortening time to market, and everything is going to be much easier, but it's going to be more competitive because it's easy for everyone. A lot of VC money is going to companies. They work for 5 years, and two guys in a garage somewhere just did the same thing in 6 months, right? Or even 3 months. Time is really exciting. When I started about more than probably 2 decades ago, we were in the hardware industry. I started in voiceover, like voiceover IP. So we used to have these racks of servers with a lot of software. And you develop a product for 3 years. I knew that when I sell this product, it's going to work for 10 years at least. And I can sell this same product for at least 10 years, right? Now we are launching a product. It's probably good for 6 to 12 months.
Wow.
Because you need to, if it's still the same version, you have there's no way to sell it because you need to continue evolve it. And after probably 5, 10 versions, it's a different product at all, right? Now, what will differentiate is not the features or functionalities or the innovation. What will differentiate is the matureness, the scalability, the performance, those type of characteristics which differentiates probably a younger company to more experienced, solid company which are operating for years. So it's one thing to serve a small project, and it's another thing to serve project with millions of daily users hitting your platform, right? It's not just technology. You need an evolution of the technology and infrastructure to support whatever you want. AI will not help because you need time to make sure you're providing good service to your customers. So yeah, there was always a need for human behind, but most of the tasks are going to change and a lot of things are going to change and they're changing as we speak. We thought that with AI, all these repetitive tasks are going to be immediately replaced, right? But what we saw is that creativity was replaced. Look at what's happening in Hollywood, right? With all the scriptwriters and everything. This is the first thing that hit, that creativity layer, which we thought as human is our unique secret sauce versus computers, right? But it's not. It started on the creativity side, and now it's moving to more towards efficiency, cost reduction, time reduction. So let's see. Things will evolve, and no one knows to predict everything, but still a really interesting time.
So it's obvious that you run a fairly global infrastructure. Are there some areas of the world or some languages of the world that you like to focus on? And how do we get a hold of you?
Yeah, so we are in the e-commerce space, and if you look at the numbers of gross merchandise values, the US market is probably, let's leave China aside because it's the biggest in the world by far. Western world, Asia, US is probably 70-80% of the worldwide gross merchandise value. So we are totally focused on the US market, where we have millions of potential customers in all sizes. And this is where we focus as a company. I'm quite active on LinkedIn. It's Eitan Kotter, EITANKOTER. You can reach out through LinkedIn and also through the Vimy website. It's vimmi.net. These are probably the two best place to find me.
Thank you to Aidan Coter, my co-host Wayne Pratt, and you, the Knack for Business listeners. If you found this session interesting, let us know. And you know what? If you're into the video business, you want to make your videos count and have more depth and reach, explore new angles, reach out to Aidan.
To reach the podcast hosts, email them at info@creativeinsight.com or by the website creativeinsight.com, spelled KREATINSIG.com. To reach Wayne at his email, waynemotive8u.ca, that is MOTIVE, the numeral 8 and the letter U.ca, or his website, motive8u.ca. If you would like to be a guest on this podcast and share your knowledge, let us know. We would also appreciate your feedback on the content or format. Check the show notes for more details. For these podcasts, we like to acknowledge the support and thanks to the following people. Carl Richards from Podcast Solutions Made Simple, a renowned podcast expert. Fred Crouch, who is the Property Wizard podcaster, where Bernie is a co-host. Jovan Strika from @Hive, a co-working space that is more than just a space. Then Melanie Weber, Bernie's invaluable business partner. And Wayne Pratt from Motivate8u Inc., who serves as both a coach and co-host of these podcasts. Disclaimer. Please note that the Knack for Business podcast episodes are meant solely for educational and general informational purposes. The information and opinions contained within are not intended to be professional advice on any subject matter. The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the participants are their own personal beliefs and do not represent the views of the podcast hosts or any affiliated organizations. It is important to note that this podcast is not a replacement for consulting with certified experts in your area who possess knowledge of your unique situation. The hosts of the podcast, along with any participants or affiliated groups, do not take responsibility for any actions taken or not taken based on the information presented in this episode. It is highly recommended that individuals seek guidance from their own personal advisors in fields such as accounting, law, or other pertinent areas prior to undertaking any actions or making decisions that may impact their financial, legal, or other aspects of life.